Oh, there you are, YouTube. Alrighty. What are we watching today on October 9th?
Turn it around.
What's it say?
Train to Busan.
Train to Busan. That's a first time watch for us. Woohoo! Has a zombie movie ever made you cry? I am wondering if this is the first zombie film to ever do that. Like, actual, literal tears dropping down my face. I don't know if this would have always happened in my life, but since having kids, it happened. I'm watching this movie, and tears are falling from my eyes, and it's a zombie film that if somebody were to say, what kind of zombie movie is it? I would relate it to Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead or World War Z. Like those would be the first things that came to mind because of the sheer speed of the zombies that we were dealing with. But this movie was incredibly emotional, far more emotional than either one of those films, and I think more so than any zombie film that I've ever seen ever. Like, actually, I would also use 28 Days Later as a way to identify, what's the word I'm looking for? Relate this movie to another movie. I don't know. That's not the word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. And again, the speed of the zombies is sort of what I'm talking about there. That's the first thing that comes to mind. But when it comes to the emotional aspect, I can't think of any other zombie film to have done what this film did to me. So, outside of that, this movie, well, I'll get to that a little bit later because a lot of that sort of stuff happens at the end. Some of the standouts, I mean, we are seeing, I guess, to go back to the World War Z thing, the zombies that we are seeing in this movie are just spilling out of things, spilling out of windows, spilling out of train cars, spilling out of doors. That visual, if you've seen World War Z, where you're seeing these zombies spill out of certain things, that's happening here, but I feel like it's done better here. World War Z was just like very CG heavy to a point to where it was difficult to suspend disbelief, I guess. I don't know. It was just very CGI heavy. Kind of reminded me of I Am Legend, to where it's just like, well, everything just looks kind of fake, you know? And that's not the case here for Train to Busan. I thought it was done really well when it came to the spilling zombies. And we were also getting some great action. Like, I don't think there were any like guns at all killing these zombies. We were seeing bats. We were seeing hand-to-hand combat with these zombies or the infected, and that was amazing. There was this like really tough guy. He and his wife, were on this train, and he might have been my favorite character. And I was just like, spoilers, by the way, I'm talking about this movie as if you have seen it. And he was fantastic. I think he was my favorite character in the entire film. And I was just like, I know they're not going to let this guy live. I know it. Maybe they will. If it was an American movie, I think they would, because he was going to be a father, and his wife was having that baby. They both seemed very excited about it, and he is clearly the toughest guy on the train, but with an amazing heart, because he is very empathetic. There's a baseball team there as well. Everybody on the baseball team is infected except one person, and the tough guy and the baseball player, the only one that's left, enter this car on the train that is full of the baseball players, and he can see that the uninfected baseball player is like having an emotional moment, like, all of my friends are dead. And he kind of sees that in the corner of his eye, and he's like, sit back, I'll take care of it. And then he's just like, I'm gonna tear through. And I don't know, it's just like, he's a very caring person. And that's, I think, one of the main themes of this movie is don't only look out for yourself, even in times like this. And it kind of reminded me of Snowpiercer a little bit, talking about, different classes and who's looking out for number one and things like that. Sorry, my phone alarm went off. Anyway, yeah, talking about the different classes and who's looking out for number one and where that gets you, how far it can get you, etc. I thought all of that was really great commentary. But I don't know, like the emotional parts, obviously, like that guy, you know, he sacrifices himself to save all the people sort of in his group. And it's just like really tough to see because he was about to be a dad and you could tell he was excited about it, he and his wife. And you know, he's like, I gotta save my wife and these other people. And it was just amazing and sad and tragic. And there's these two elderly women. They get separated on opposite ends of the train, and they are sisters. And anytime I'm seeing something like that, it just gets me emotional thinking about my kids. They're twins, twin girls, and you know, they're like 2.5, and I just like think about them getting older and only having each other. I don't know. So all of that stuff was like super hard to watch. Um, Sorry, that time I had to stop the video because I had to recollect myself. But yeah, those two elderly women, I don't know, like I'm just rooting for them. They're on opposite ends of the train. They're together, but you know, they end up getting separated, and then they have hordes of zombies between them, and they, you know, obviously want to reach one another, and they don't even know if the other one's alive, but they're trying. And then things just end up so tragic there. I mean, it's all so beautifully and poetically done, but it is just so hard to watch. Again, anytime I'm seeing sisters, twin sisters, anything like that, I just like think of my own kids and then putting them in that situation. And I just like, just thought about them as these elder, am I going to do this again? Thinking about the, okay. Thinking about them as thinking about the thinking about them as I can't do it. Thinking about them as elderly women and only having each other and just, I don't know, needing to rely on one another for certain things. And I don't know, great. It's a good movie. I gotta stop it again, I'm sorry. Okay, recollected again. And that wasn't even the part that got me really like tearing up. Like my eyes were welling up, but I didn't have tears dropping yet during that part. The parts that had me actually like crying while watching were for the main characters, this dad and his daughter, and they sort of have this strained relationship because he's always working, and you know, it's that sort of like, you know, Hook thing, you know, Robin Williams, Peter Pan, he's working so much he really doesn't know his kids. It's sort of a similar thing that's happening here. Very, you know, common trope, but it's done so well here. You know, she clearly loves her dad, wishes he was there, you know, practices her singing for him, hoping he'll show up to her recitals and things like that. And he just doesn't always make it, and rarely ever makes it to anything, it seems. And obviously they're on this train together, and they have to bond over this horrific zombie outbreak. And, you know, they realize how much, you know, they love each other. You know, that just gets stronger, especially the dad towards the daughter, and how much he, you know, needs her. And he see, this is the thing. I don't know if this stuff would make me cry before I had kids. Movies have, you know, always made me emotional. The first movie I ever like cried in, or started to cry, welled up in, was Cool Runnings. Like when they pick up the bobsled and carry it over the line. Like I remember being a kid in the theater and being like, what's happening to me? This is weird, because usually I just, you know, watch movies, but Cool Runnings was the first time my eyes started welling up, and I was like, this is nuts. Okay, so the dad has to sacrifice himself to save his daughter. He knows he gets bit in the process, so he knows he's infected. And then he has to, you know, sort of quarantine her away from him, and the pregnant woman is still alive. And, you know, he's basically like, you stay with her, you stay with her, you stay with her, she'll, you know, get you to safety. and then they're on a train engine when this is happening, and he takes himself to the end of the train engine knowing he's going to turn, and his daughter's out there screaming for him, "Daddy, I love you." Okay, I can do this. I can do this. And I'm... Okay, I'm going to use this too. I was thinking, should I start over? Okay, I'm going to keep all this in. Well, except for the parts where I obviously turned off the camera. Okay, here we go. So, she's in the engine at the front, crying for her dad, who she knows it's over for. He goes to the back of the engine. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. He goes to the back of the engine. Come on, get through it. I'm just trying to finish this review. Okay, he goes to the back of the train engine, and he sort of sets himself on the edge, stands himself on the edge, and starts thinking, okay, I'm just trying to get through this. And if I start really crying, I won't be able to. So I'm trying to fight through this. Okay, so I'm talking about a zombie movie. What's happening to me? Okay, so stands himself. Let's just see if I could even do this. Okay, stands himself on the edge of the train engine, that front car or whatever that's called, train engine. Stands himself on the edge of it and starts thinking about the birth of his daughter, and you start seeing flashbacks of it. Him holding her, and it's that is when it's okay. I'm just really fighting here. Okay, I'm just trying to get through it. That's the reason. It's not like I'm afraid of crying or whatever. I'm just trying to get through this, and it's if I really start going, then I'm just never gonna get it out. And I don't know. Now it's it become a challenge for me. Okay, so he starts thinking about the birth of his daughter, and he's starting to turn, and you're seeing it. His veins are starting to darken, his eyes are starting to whiten, and he is just got all the other zombies, when we see them turn, they're all going, turning really fast, and they're going crazy. And the strong guy at the beginning, he held off as long as he could, and you could see him, he was pushing all these zombies down and stuff, so his transition was a little bit slower because he was fighting it so hard. And the dad here, we're starting to see him turn, but you can also tell he's sort of experiencing this moment of bliss from thinking, about the birth of his kid, and we're seeing it in flashbacks, and it's just, that's when it was me and my wife were both sobbing and thinking, what the heck, this is a zombie movie. We had no clue it was going to be this good or emotional or anything. Just thought it was, we were just watching a movie tonight. And it was just stop it, get through it. It was just so good. And obviously when he finally turns, he's standing on the edge, and then you have this great You have this great shot of his shadow on the edge of the train. Shadow. And it's just, you see him falling. So, you know, he's not putting his daughter at risk or anything by staying on the train. But it's just so strange. Again, I don't know, maybe I would have this reaction, but I don't think so. Ooh, it's just so weird. Oh, gosh, come on. It's just so strange what kids do to your movie watching experiences, I think. Man, this has got to be like so gross or hard to watch. Oh, am I gonna use this? Am I gonna put this online? Okay. So, yeah. Like, I'm thinking, like, if I was, like, 25, or just even the year before I had kids, or the year before my wife was pregnant or anything, like, how would I watch this movie? Would I just watch it and be like, hey, that was a good movie? I just don't imagine I would have such an emotional response to it. And it's a zombie movie. That's the thing. This movie is so good. I heard there's a sequel. I heard they're making an American version. I don't know if the sequel's any good. I've heard so many good things about this movie, and I fully get it, fully understand why. It is fantastic. And I don't know, the American version's probably going to suck. That stuff like that usually happens with foreign films, and then they're made here, and then they're just usually not as good. Or maybe, I don't know, when are they? I know there's examples, but I know there are examples, but where, we make a good version. But I don't know. This movie was so good. As you can tell, I was very affected by it. And I don't know. Like, now I'm wondering, is this like my favorite zombie movie? I never really like thought about what my favorite zombie movie is, but I don't know. Maybe it's this one. I don't know what I would have said before seeing it. That's never like a list I've made. Or I don't know. I probably would have said like Shaun of the Dead or 28 Days Later. Or, I don't know. I really like Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. But I don't know. This one may have just taken the cake, as you can tell, because I just could not get through this review at all. And I'm like even cutting out some of the stuff I wanted to talk about. Like, I'm thinking about it now, but I'm like, will I even be able to get through it? Let me see if I can say it fast. Okay, so I had twins, and when you have twins, they're born premature, and a lot of times they can't go home. See, I shouldn't have started. Should I even get into this? Okay. Okay, so sometimes when you have twins, they're born premature, so they aren't always able to come home with you right away. Ooh. And okay. I don't think I can do it. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I can do it. Okay. So anyway, that is a really good movie. Come on. Pull it in. Pull it in. There we go. Okay. Train to Busan is awesome. Love that movie so much. Very affecting. And is this how I'm going to end this? No, actually, my kids, they painted pumpkins today. They didn't paint them. They were drawing them with Sharpies because we went to the pumpkin patch yesterday, and today they decorated their pumpkins. So check out, I'm going to put that at the end of this video. So right now I'm going to sign off with my normal sign off, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it after that. Anyway, yeah, how about we do that? I'm going to show you my kids coloring pumpkins. That's how we'll end this off. And so I'm going to put that in right now.
Coloring Halloween pumpkins. What kind of art are you doing?
Oh, good job.
Ooh, that's great. Oh, you're giving it eyes? Making it look like Jack Skellington?
I draw eyes!
Good job, kids. Good job. What are you making? Ooh, that's cool. Look at that face. That's nice and spooky.
That's nice and spooky.
Yeah.
Mine nice and cool.
Nice and what?
Mine is nice and cool.
Nice
Ooh,
and cool.
nice and cool, yeah, I agree. Good job.
Mine.
Coloring in his mouth. Doing such a good job.
Covered it.
I love the eyes and the nose.
Don't touch it with your fingers.
I'm coloring him.
You're doing a great job.
I'm coloring all of that. It's a bit. He is happy.
He's happy.
Yeah.
Looks like he has a drooling mouth. That was a big truck that went by. Is his mouth drooling?
Yeah.
Is it slobber and blood?
Yeah.
Hey Noni, can you show me that pumpkin?
Mama.
Can you show me the glowing pumpkin?
Cheese.
Can you show him to me?
He's saying cheese.
Oh, look at that cool, he's saying cheese.
Yeah.
Look at that cool face.
Malacca.
You did such a good job. What are you coloring? Just the tiniest little gourd?
Yeah.
I'm coloring it black.
Oh, I love this guy right here. Great face. These are looking great.
Look at that little face.
I did too.
I love this little
Can
family.
I take a picture of that little
Mama.
You have my cheat sheet?
cheat?
I just love this little guy so much.
You love my cheese. That's good. Move that.
You think?
Yeah. What the hell up? She moved that. Not mine.
You coloring that black? Mm-hmm. You are focused. What's that new face you got?
I got a grandpa.
I love it.
That's a grandpa?
Oh, you drew a beard on him. That is so clever.
Whew. Okay, so, isn't that adorable? So now, we'll go ahead and end the vlog. And if you made it to the end, thank you so much. And I apologize for how long it took. And perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.